Welcome to Gems of Knowledge with your host, David Bellman and Justin Kroll. Each week, our experts will answer all of your jewelry questions with Rachel Putney, our social media maven, who will relay your questions to our experts. And now, here's your host, David Bellman.
Hey, this is David Bellman, your host of Gems of Knowledge. Welcome to the latest episode. We've been in the jewelry business for a long time, but other things come up from time to time, too, that are pretty interesting and kind of semi-related to jewelry, and that, for us lately, has been Bitcoins. You've probably heard a lot about it on the news. You've heard about this Bitcoin coin that has been going up from, from my experience, from $400 a few years ago up to over almost $20,000 just recently. And I've had a little experience with it. I'm going to tell my story in a minute, and then we've had our experiences with it as well. And we want to talk about it because we think it's what's happening in the industry. It's happening to, and we think you should know about it. And since we're involved in it, and it's really kind of tangential to the jewelry business, we thought we would share it with you and hope you enjoy this information. So first, how you guys doing? Rachel, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Looking lovely as always.
Thank you.
And of course, Justin, you look okay.
You look good.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. But,
that was a good intro, Dave. I like that. Tangential. That's a new word.
Yeah, I got it from Bill O'Reilly. Anyway, that's a whole other story. So now I think what we're going to do is, I guess I'm supposed to tell my Bitcoin story first. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Well, yeah. We want to know how you first heard about it, what your experiences have been with it, and we'll kind of go around the table and discuss our story.
Yeah, because like everything else, Justin is our in-house Bitcoin expert. What was the other thing you were an expert in? I forget now.
Space.
Space.
Oh,
yes.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
You're welcome.
That's exactly right. So
Apollo.
he's our Apollo space expert and Bitcoin expert. So here's my story. About 2.5 years ago now, right? Our computer system at the store got hacked. And it was that...
through a very good firewall that we had.
Well, no, actually, we didn't have it then.
No, okay,
no,
okay.
We didn't. But what happened was the email that I received that had the virus in it was from our PC vendor, from our IT guys.
Oh, that's right.
So when I saw the email from my IT guy, I didn't have any... think that it would be a problem to open the attachment. Well, guess what? Even his system got hacked, sent me this bogus email. It said it was like an invoice or something like that. I clicked on it, and of course, it was the thing that locks up your system. It puts a bug into your computer system, and it scrambles and locks up all your files. And then you have to deal with this guy, an email from Russia probably. I'm pretty sure that's where he was from. And he said, okay, we can unlock this for... I think it was like we'll say it was $2,000. I think it was around $2,000.
How many Bitcoins was that at the time?
Oh, now, see, you're ruining my story because I hadn't gotten to Bitcoins yet.
Hey, Dave, I thought it was like, $700 or something like that.
Oh, I can't remember. It was, but still, it was a fair amount of money. But anyway, I said, okay, well, how am I supposed to get you this money?
Okay.
And he says, you have to pay me in Bitcoins. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'd never heard of what a Bitcoin was, or I have any idea how to get my hands on one or any of that
So
stuff.
that was the first time you had ever heard about it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I heard it, it wasn't, I wasn't paying any attention to it.
Right.
Certainly wasn't any interest in it. So I said, all right. I said, we have no choice because we talked it amongst ourselves. There was no way we could undo it with our RT guys. They said they couldn't do it for that kind of money. So we said, okay, fine, we'll pay the ransom, right? We'll do it. And I said, all right, where do I get these Bitcoins? And the Russian guy says, get them, and just send them to me. And again, we had no idea. Howard actually helped me out with this. And so I said, all right. So I started calling around friends in New Hampshire that I knew were in the tech industry, and I said, hey, any of you guys have Bitcoins? And everybody's like, oh, yeah, we know what they are, but no, none of us own any or have any.
Okay.
But there's this group of people, and they live off the grid. These are what do they call them? The
Nomads?
No. What do they call it? The group of people, kind of like the Trump loved, the people that are off the grid kind of people.
I don't know.
Anybody?
Howard? Anyways.
Those people. And so it took about a week, we finally located a guy who had Bitcoins, who was willing to sell them. He says he wants to be paid in cash. Okay, fine. So I said, so I sent Howard to go meet the guy.
Thanks a lot, dude. He could have had a gun.
Yeah, well, he's a tough-looking dude. I figured, he'd get, if they see me, they're like, yeah, we could take this guy. But, Howard's kind of a rough guy. Yeah, we'll take him down. Marines, right? Marine? Ex-Marine? Army. Oh, even better. See that? So, anyway, I give him the cash. He goes and he meets this guy. What park was it in Manchester?
No, it was right next door at the gas station.
Oh, next door at the gas station. So he meets this guy, and this beat-up guy drives up in his beat-up car.
Now, he wouldn't come into the store?
Oh, no. He wanted off the grid. He didn't want him to talk to anybody.
Cut it out.
No. He said he wanted to be paid in cash.
I had to be alone.
He had to be alone.
What?
Oh, yeah, it's like a drug deal. It was like a drug deal. You know about that.
But this...
Come on.
Thanks,
Who am I talking?
Dave.
Oh,
you too.
now I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But why the secrecy? These weren't
These are the types of people that they are.
Okay.
What's the name? God damn it! I can't
Just
remember.
private. They wanted privacy.
Yeah, they live in the woods. They don't have. They have their own electricity. They live off
Republicans.
Nomads.
Can we start over? All right. So I said, all right, fine. So we go and Howard goes and meets this guy, and he says, here's the money. Give me the Bitcoins. And the guy's like, did you on a cell phone? He says, okay, now you got them. He's like, what do you mean now I got them? So I guess, what did he email them to us?
Yeah, he transferred it to, and I had to call you, and then I give you the account, and then you checked while I was still waiting.
That's right. We had to set up a Bitcoin account. That's where Coinbase came in.
Right.
So we had to open up an account to receive the coins, right? So he goes and sees the guy, and he pushes a few buttons, and then on my side, on the screen in my account, beep, Bitcoins show up, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, then he says, Howard, don't kill him. You can come back.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked. And that was it. So then I had, I think, 5 or 6 Bitcoins that I had to buy a certain amount.
Sure.
But I only needed 4 out of the 5, we'll say.
Got you.
Okay, to pay this guy. And I had 1 left over. And I said, well, I'll just leave it in there because who knows, someday I might need to, when the whole
another
world
one.
It might happen
collapses.
again.
Yeah, the world comes to an end, and I got to get some money together. I'll have this Bitcoin worth $400.
Right.
And I kept it all that time, and then about around the 1st of January last year, the thing went from $400 up to $800, and my girlfriend Tony would say to me, "Sell it," I said, "No, it's $400. Now it's $800."
Yeah.
And I got nothing into this.
Let it ride.
Let it ride. Let's just see what happens. It's kind of curious. Well, it goes to 1,000. It goes to 2,000. It goes to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, this is over like a course of just a few months.
Right.
And she's screaming, "Sell!" And I'm like, no, this is really crazy. And I hadn't sold it until it went as high as I had it still when it was $19,000.
You did.
I still had it at $19,000.
Yep.
And then that's when it dropped down to about 16, and I sold half of it.
At 16,000.
Yeah.
So you
what
still
an
have half of it?
incredible story.
Yeah.
Hey, can we give a
So-
shout out to the guy who did that to you for making you 20 grand?
Yeah, a couple
Right.
things.
Sergey?
Yeah. So
Nikolai, whatever.
So yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks for hacking my system.
So going back, so you paid the hacker.
Yep.
You sent him, the Bitcoin through the internet.
Oh, yeah, he sent me back the code.
He sent you the code. You read it, sent it back, sent it over.
Oh, yeah, he was very legit. In fact, even he sends me the
Legit
code
hacker.
to undo the computer system, which it did. And he sent me an 800 number for support if I had any problems with it.
That's awesome.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. No, these guys are thieves, but they're respectable
But they're really
thieves.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
You pay him, hey, look, it's business. That's the way I looked at it. It's business. He's in the business of hacking into computers, and if he's willing to be a good guy, you pay him, you should undo it, right?
How did you know
We're
he
in the
would do
wrong
it or you didn't?
business.
I had no idea, but I had nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
It was just the few $100 that he wanted for ransom. Otherwise, you're going to have to get all new computers throughout the entire store.
and try to reconfigure all my files.
Oh,
They're all
yeah.
lock solid.
Yeah.
But believe me, we spent weeks researching this and trying to figure out if there's some way we could have undone it ourselves, and there was no way. And it was worth taking the shot. Had nothing to lose for a couple of $1,000s if it
And
worked
you
great.
clearly
Right.
had a lot to gain.
So it
Well,
cost
who
from
knew?
from Howard's account. It was $700 total that
Whatever
you
it
had
was.
to buy. So you paid him, the $700. You had 1 left over.
Kept it.
which turned into 16 grand.
Yep.
I thought it was 19.
Well, it went as high as 19, but I didn't sell it at the peak. You know, it started to come down, and that's when I got a little nervous. I said, okay, maybe the ride's over. Let's just get rid of half of it, and we'll let the other half sit out
But it
there.
has just begun.
Yeah. And then through you and I now, and that's what prompted all this, is that then we started you doing a lot of research on Bitcoin and realizing, well, hey, guess what? There's more than just one coin out there. So why don't you take it from there so people
Sure.
can understand what this is all about?
Sure. So right before we get to that, though, Rachel's going to tell her story, and then I just have a couple minutes story too about it. How did you?
Okay, but we'll be short on time, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
So, back probably this was years ago. So I was a little bit younger then. One of my family members was mining them, and I'm like, mining what? He's like, Bitcoin. I'm like, what's Bitcoin? So he's explaining it to me. I'm like, yeah, just stop there. Like, I don't understand it. And that was the end of it. I forgot about it. I never even thought about it once. And then,
But you saw all these computers and
but
all this crazy stuff.
I mean, I saw these like computers that he made to.
Well, maybe you should explain what mining Bitcoins is.
Sure. So
Okay.
so the mining is each individual computer is processing a block of information, and they're making confirmations. And these computers or mines all around the world are confirming the same information, and it gets logged onto a ledger basically that everyone in the world can verify. So you don't need someone to oversee the transaction, because everyone knows it took place on this public ledger that everyone can see.
The blockchain.
The block, which is the blockchain. So they're in individual little blocks. Actually, we have a little picture, Howard. I think it's picture number 2, to just briefly describe it. But that's basically what it is. It's a
Because that's what blockchain is, but the mining of the coins itself, that's a whole different situation. These what they do is they run these computer systems, and if they process long enough, they can actually calculate out one of these coins.
Yeah. So basically,
no. They're doing the confirmations. They're doing the cryptography calculations for these transactions.
Okay, but at what point
They're
does the
getting
coin?
rewarded from the blockchain for doing all this work of computing
Yeah.
in a portion of a Bitcoin.
So basically, instead of going on and buying a Bitcoin, you can do all of this work to get one essentially for free.
Yes, but it's expensive.
But it is to run. I mean, the electricity
Yeah.
to run these computers. It's not free, but
Right.
I mean, it's.
Well, your cousin, so her cousin, Dave,
Yeah.
was doing it at his grandparents' house, and his
no,
grandparents.
his
Their
parents.
all his
electric bill is
parents.
$12,000 a month.
Yeah, they had a huge electric bill. And
No, I don't know how much it was,
No,
but
it was huge.
It was
trust me.
huge.
Yep.
And that was just, I mean, to know people like yourself and your cousin that were doing it years ago, it's just unbelievable. Now it's come so far.
I know it hurts to know that just a few years ago you could have bought one for a couple $100s and you would have like 20 grand right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it
Sucks.
out there.
So now take it a step further. So let's talk about what's going on beyond, because the average person only knows about Bitcoin.
Sure.
And maybe they've heard about Litecoin. Maybe I don't know, but
Sure.
mostly it's just the one coin. So what's really going on? That's what people want to know.
So this technology is, in theory, going to change the way we do a lot of things in a lot of different industries. And each industry and each problem that is out there is a new company popping up to try to solve that problem through using blockchain technology.
Okay.
Howard, can you bring up the website, CoinMarketCap? This right now, there's over
Let's go back one page.
the live. Oh yeah, you got to go back. Right now, there's over 1,300 different cryptocurrencies and tokens that you can buy into and own. This is the.
Let's start here. Okay, so Howard, for now, can you just scroll and put 1 through 10 is visible on the screen, let's say. Okay, so there's Bitcoin,
Yeah.
right? So everyone wants to know, that's the coin that I bought a few years ago for a few $100s. We don't really know exactly how much, but back then. And today is, January 5th? The price is almost $17,000.
Yeah, it's right in the middle there, $16,978.80.
Okay.
Almost 17,000. It's just in the last 24 hours. There's been $22 billion worth of Bitcoin being bought and sold and traded.
Yeah, and this is what we want to bring to everyone's attention was this is no little joke thing anymore, and this isn't just one little coin. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars that are being transacted every day, like the stock market, that the average person has no idea is going. Howard, just for the heck of it, now, and these are all individual other coins that are out there, but just for the heck of it, Howard, just scroll down like really quickly and check this, or scroll up, I guess, and just go really quick. You know what I meant. Yeah. Up, down, keep showing them how far down this thing goes.
Yeah, there's 1,300 plus different coins. They're all...
Yeah, that's good, Howard.
They're all projects, they're called, with teams, and they have a goal of solving some sort of problem with this technology. And some of these will be, in the future, going to be very viable and profitable companies, and some of them won't.
Yeah, now show them the difference in the market cap. Before we show this one, Howard, can you go back to the slide that has this picture on it from 2013?
Yeah, that's image number 3.
Yeah, do 3 first. Just switch
Hold
back
on
to
a
that
second.
one.
Let's get rid of that and get rid of that and send this.
Nope. The one that looks just like that one. Only.
Oh, I see. I know what you're saying. This one.
Yeah. This one here just shows the blockchain. I say so. This is. So go ahead, Justin. Explain what we're looking at right here.
Sure. So this was back in April of 2013. There were 7 coins that were being recorded at the time. I don't know if there were any more. There might have been 1 or 2. But the total market cap, in other words, the total amount of US dollars into these 7 coins
worldwide
was a little over 1.5 billion.
Yep. Okay. That was how many years ago? That was 5 years. Yeah, that's right. 5 years ago. Thank you for the
2018.
Yeah, I know. It's going fast.
And then
go back, and today, and Howard's going to click on this, it is now $746 billion. So it's gone up $639 billion in just the last, year or so?
Yeah.
That's
now, what's
crazy.
Miraculous is this chart here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It hasn't been until about March when it started to really take off, and it went from, maybe $4 or $5 billion.
Well, it says 28. So they're at 28 billion, and then it starts to go up. You're at 37 right now, right?
Yep.
And now you're just in July. This is last summer we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're not even at $100 billion yet. And then between last summer and now, it's gone up and up. Keep going. All the way up.
All the way
This
up.
is where it starts going crazy, is right here in a very short period of time.
Yep.
And go back just a little bit more. That's when I got in.
Okay. Yep. So you can see that, this craziness is going on out there, that there's obviously a lot more than just one coin involved, and that, there's this opportunity that people are cashing in on. And now I can drive Howard crazy. Click back to the main screen again. Just go back one page on the...
Back the year?
Yeah, to where we were just a second ago on that listed all the different coins. Nope, from the website live.
Oh.
Yep. And this is something that Justin and I were talking about yesterday. Now this is today's market. Things are a little on the low side. But let's take number 8. Take number 8, Tron. Okay, you don't have to click on it, but let's just talk about that one as an example. If the market cap on that is $12 billion, Each coin costs, just scroll over to the right, you'll see it says 0.18. Each coin currently costs 18 cents.
Yep.
All right, 18 cents you can buy one of these coins. If you had bought $1,000 of these coins last week, now scroll all the way to the right, it would be worth $4,000 today. Last week.
Yeah.
And the funny thing that we had talked about was when you go to the bank and you buy a CD and you put $100,000 into that CD, you get
You get 2%.
2% return in 12 months. This returned 398% in 7 days, the last 7 days. That's insane.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not suggesting that anybody get involved in this because this is a lot of smoke and mirrors and nobody really knows what's going on. We certainly don't. We're just, we're all amateurs on this and we're just bringing this to your attention just because we find it so fascinating that there's a, $750 billion floating around out there in the world in these coins, and all they are dots, ones and zeros in people's computer systems. And people put them on thumb drives. You could have $1 billion on thumb drive with the codes on it. And if you lose that thumb drive, what happens to your coins?
Same thing that if you lost $1 billion in cash.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. But I'd rather have those numbers than a piece of paper.
I suppose. It makes it a lot easier to carry them around.
Yeah, I just think it's worth more than just the paper that's printed by the trillions and trillions.
And more people are now accepting it as payment.
Yeah,
there's
we are.
Restaurants that are
Did you want to
taking it
make
as
that
payment.
announcement today?
Well, sure, why not? We're obviously involved in this thing, and, if there's customers out there that have a few $1 billion worth of Bitcoins they want to let go and buy some jewelry, come on down to Bellman Jewelers. We'd be happy to help you.
But it doesn't have to be $1 billion.
No, it can be just a couple $100 million. No, it can be
Any amount.
$500.
Yeah.
It can be the way Bitcoins work is you just sell a fraction of that number one. If you have one Bitcoin, you sell 1/10,000th of it, and if it comes out to $500, whatever it is, and that's how it works. So you sell a percentage.
If you
That's
have
right.
a couple $100 to lose, why wouldn't you put it into this? No, I'm serious though.
Well,
if you have a couple $100 to gamble with,
well, it's that's the key word, gambling. That's the key word.
right.
Yeah.
I also want to announce, I think you're right on that. I also want to announce that we are also paying people in Bitcoin
Sure.
when they bring their jewelry in.
Okay.
So if they would prefer to, instead of getting a check or cash for the jewelry that they sell, we're also paying in Bitcoin or almost any other cryptocurrency that they would like.
That we have access to, yeah. So think about that. We're talking about it now like it's like, this is, like people were talking about the internet when it first started. And what are you talking about? But, you talk about 3 or 4 years from now and everybody's going to be trading Bitcoins and all these other currencies like they're nothing. And they're going to be using their cell phones and and that's the whole purpose of a lot of this blockchain technology is that rather than going through a bank to transfer money, you have to go through your branch, and then you have to go to the main bank, you have to go to the Federal Reserve, and then it's got to go to maybe to another country, and it's got to go through all their banking system. The way blockchain works, when it's all set up, you'll be able to transfer money from your cell phone directly to a person anywhere in the world, bypassing all of those intermediaries, and be able to transfer your money directly to that person.
Virtually free.
And basically at no cost. And according to the way it works, completely and 100% protected with no hackability, supposedly. So that's supposed to be where the future is going, and then you can take that same kind of protective technology and then use it for a whole bunch of other purposes, not just banking, but that was the original idea, was to...
Dave, your great-grandkids aren't going to know what paper money is.
They practically don't know now. All I give them is silver dollars all the time.
You have great-grandkids?
You kidding? Half my friends don't know what the dollars look like anymore. Nobody carries cash around.
Almost nobody carries cash.
I never have cash on me, and if I do, I'm like, get rid of it.
See?
I don't know why,
It's just-
but
Everyone uses their credit cards or debit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. We've informed you. We've taken more time than we really cared to, but at this point, we always try to keep them around 15 or 20 minutes for you. But I think it was really good information for you to know about, since it's really kind of exciting and new. This is the new world, and people should be aware of these things. And hopefully we've shed a little light on what's going on with at least $760 billion of the money in the world floating around on computer systems, spinning around with 4,000% increases in 7 days. It's just, I don't know how else to describe it except maybe like the stock market, back in the 20s or something.
Something like that.
It's-
Well, maybe like internet, sort of like buying Google when it was, $20.
Oh, that's true. But it wasn't going up 400% in a week and then going down, like those kinds of
Swings.
shifts.
Yeah.
And you couldn't buy Google for 18 cents. You couldn't invest $200 really in Google. The stock was. This is like, and you can just sit at home and do this. You don't even need to go a stockbroker or anything. You can just do it on your cell phone if you wanted to.
It's eliminating all of the middlemen.
Yeah.
It really, and hopefully we have more shows on really explaining what it does and how it does it. We can get into it more, but
Depends what people want.
Theory behind this is pretty incredible.
No, it is. And it certainly is the future, and just exactly where it's going, we don't know, but we think you should be at least aware of it. So thank you very much for your time, and next week we'll come back with another exciting episode, and we've got actually a lot of interesting engagements that have happened this last week. There's 4 big ones.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, that happened that we want to tell you about. So in our next episode, we'll tell you about the 4 big celebrity engagements that took place over the last couple of days.
Awesome, and thanks for telling that story. That was an awesome story.
Well, thanks, and thank you, Nikolai,
Yeah.
somewhere in Siberia, who's probably sitting on $1 billion worth of bitcoins.
Can you imagine that? Imagine the bitcoins he has.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so. We're in the wrong business.
Yeah, if we're not on next week and we're all gone and we're like living somewhere off the grid, you'll know why.
Yeah.
All right. Till next week.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, Dave.